What's going on YouTube? It's the Paydirt Pioneer coming back at you with another Paydirt review. I do apologize about the audio up front. We had some mishap while recording these videos and not all of our audio got to stick. So some of this is done in a voiceover, but we are coming back at you today with our first ever full-length Paydirt review. We'll be reviewing the Montana Prospector 8-ounce bag of Paydirt. You can buy it on his website, buy it on eBay. No guaranteed amount of gold. But let's look a little bit more thoroughly about what this Paydirt is all about. Welcome back. Let's take a look at our Paydirt for today. So, like I said, we are reviewing the Montana Prospector. Today specifically, we're doing his 8-ounce sample Paydirt. The total came out to $9.99. He does provide free shipping on his website. As you can see, a fair bit of reviews, 32 overall. Decent grades, not great, but not bad. So, Montana Gold Paydirt Sample, the unsearched Paydirt. Understanding our Paydirt, this is natural unsearched Paydirt, a possibility of gold and an occasional sapphire. Paydirt from some of the richest gold areas in Montana. He talks a little bit about sapphires. I'm not really worried about the sapphires. It's not gold. This Paydirt came from our claims, runs from about 0 to 7 grams of natural gold per yard. This gold Paydirt is mostly 60 to 30 mesh, about 1 to 2% smaller than 60 mesh. 1 to 10 to 15 is 30 to 12 mesh, and 1 to 2 is 12 to 16 mesh. This is unsearched Paydirt. He adds a small amount of gold to make sure that there is gold in any bag, but he cannot guarantee that we'll be able to find it. They do not guarantee gold unless you're buying gold added to the bag. This is a hobby only, not an investment. We outsource some of our Paydirt from local Montana miners and get some from our claims. So he doesn't guarantee any gold. Again, $10, 8 ounces of. You can purchase the gold on his website, or you can also purchase it on eBay. I'll have links to both. The eBay will be an affiliate link. If you want to help support the channel, feel free to use that affiliate link, and it'll bring a little bit of revenue back towards this channel. All right, and then looking at the amount of gold I would like to see back, I think a realistic expectation for a bag this cheap, I normally have about a 60% rule for bags that don't have guaranteed gold. This one's a little bit, it's only $10, so you'd expect a little bit less. If you're looking at it, a tenth of a gram gold value today would be $6.20. That would come out to a return on investment of 62%. I feel like we could go probably to 0.09 in that ballpark, but you'd like to see close to a tenth of a gram of gold, I think, for this to be a good value on investment. Now, let's get back to the panning station and see how much gold we recover. All right, now that we know what we're looking at with our Paydirt, let's crack it open, get it in a pan, and start to classify it down, and just talk about the general outlook of the Paydirt. So as you can see here, I'm dumping it into the pan. It is a little bit wet. It's not completely soaked or anything, but it is a little bit hard to get out of the bag because of it. There's some clumps that I will end up washing out into separate pans. So as you can see, a decent-sized panful, again, 8 ounces of Paydirt. The first thing I noticed was the smell of it. Very natural, organic material. I'm actually picking out a little bug there because there's a little bug inside of the Paydirt. So it's very natural, very organic material. And again, it had a smell about it. Not necessarily bad, just very earthy. And, like kind of you would with garden soil. Not your normal sand or, bedrock that you'd get from a river. So good-sized Paydirt. A very noticeable smell on it. And also kind of damp. So we are going to work on classifying this down, breaking it into a plus and minus kitchen strainer level, as well as making sure that we're going to clean up any of the dust off the rocks inside. So I got my handy dandy kitchen strainer, my little bowl to pour over. Straining it out was a little bit difficult, again, because it was damp. We will end up washing it out to make everything a little bit easier to work with. But it went through the strainer pretty easily. In total, again, you got 8 ounces of Paydirt here. About 1 to 2 sizes of the large Paydirt or the plus material, and then about 3 or 4 pans worth of the minus material. Now that we have our dirt broken down, I wanted to take a chance to see what the magnetics were like inside of it. So I have my handy dandy neodymium magnet. It's attached to another magnetic stick. And then I have a little old sippy cup for medicine that you use just to make sure that you're not getting everything stuck. Overall, it wasn't very magnetic. I didn't really have too much trouble getting it out. A little bit more than I actually expected, just considering the fact it was such natural material. But overall, not very difficult to go through. Not a whole lot of black sands to worry about. I did end up pulling it out. I'm going to pan it on the side just to be more thorough and make sure I'm getting everything. On top of that, with that black sand that we have, we're also going to be going through the rinse off of the plus material. So I'll rinse out that plus material in water, make sure everything's washed off of it, all the clumps are broken up, and that and the black sands are going to be the first things that we pan out to see if we found any gold. Without any further ado, let's get to the panning and let's see how much gold we recover from this 8-ounce bag of pay dirt.
Prospectors. So I wanted to take us to the gold calculator for the Montana Prospector 8-ounce bag of pay dirt and see whether or not he is selling us some snake oil. So as I described today, we are looking at the Montana Prospector. It's his 8-ounce bag of pay dirt. In total, I paid $9.99 for that bag of pay dirt. Absolutely $0 in shipping, $0 in tax. So my total came out to $9.99 invested. As you could kind of see later on, it said 0.042 grams of gold initially. I did recalibrate my my measuring scale, and it did come out to a slightly higher score. Price of gold as of right now is that. Let's refresh it just to make sure it's accurate. And we did have a subtle change. So grams of gold that we recovered ended up being 0.046 grams of gold, giving us a total value of our gold that we got back $2.86, or a return on investment of 28.6%, giving us an ROI score of 2.86. Looking at the amount of fun that you have panning this out, it's pretty easy to sort through. It's very muddy, dirties up your water, but it's very easy to pan. If you're someone that's a newbie to this, it's a very good practice pay dirt, as it wasn't too hard to find the gold. There wasn't a lot of super small gold, but in terms of fun, I got to give it a very low, probably just a, I'm going to give it a 3. I'll give it a 3.5. I can see some value as a new prospector wanting to do that, but I do think that there are more entertaining pay dirts out there. And then looking over the final shipping, everything shipped out pretty easily. He included that pay dirt pan. Everything came great. No complaints there. Packaging came in just your standard wrapped up envelope. No damage to it. Happy with that. Again, no damage, so that gets a 2. And then the description online, not very great. I'm only going to give it a half star. Nothing exceedingly bad, nothing exceedingly great. And that gives you a total score for this pay dirt of 41.69% out of 100. So when we see that red color, we know that that means that the Montana Prospector is selling us some snake oil. This is a really small bag of pay dirt. I'm not surprised that the return on investment is so low. Again, I do see value as a new prospector of choosing this type of a pay dirt, but I wouldn't just roll with that. There are other ones, better ones out there that you can do. So first grade, first review, the Montana Prospector 8-ounce bag, certified snake oil. This will be added to his total score. They'll be running total on the website. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel for more pay dirt reviews and all things pay dirt. Check out our website, make sure to keep up to date with all things that we're doing. And last but not least, if you want to support the channel, I would love to see you on Patreon. Everything that you need links-wise is in the description below. Outside of that, I've been the Pay Dirt Pioneer. Keep on prospecting and good luck finding that gold.